Spirit rise up and break through the walls and beat down the doors and crash through the windows and cover the earth, the earth, the earth, the earth. Oh, the earth. Oh, the earth. Fear has no choice but to bow. Chains have no choice but to break. Shame has no choice but to leave in your presence. Fear has no choice but to bow. Chains have no choice but to break. Shame has no choice but to leave in your presence. Fear has no choice but to bow, and chains have no choice but to break. And shame has no choice but to leave in your presence. Fear has no choice but to bow, and chains have no choice but to break. And shame has no choice but to leave in your presence. So let the Spirit rise up and break through the walls and beat down the doors and crash through the windows and cover the earth, the earth, the earth, the earth. Let the Spirit rise up and break through the walls and beat down the doors and crash through the windows and cover the earth, the earth, the earth, the earth. Oh, the earth. Cover the earth, oh God. Cover the earth with your Spirit, with your presence.
Guys, thanks so much for sharing the song with us.
Yeah.
What an amazing song. And Kari, I know there's a little bit of history behind this song and how it just really kind of developed out of your local church,
Right.
which is awesome.
Right.
But talk about this a little bit, like first time you heard this song and then, just kind of the progression of how the song came about.
Yes, I love this song. First of all, Daniela Mason wrote this song originally, and she's been doing it for a few years. And she is a Christian artist, but she's a pop artist. So she's a Christian that loves Jesus, but she does more of the mainstream side of music. So she started doing this song in venues like clubs and bars and places where there are not a lot of believers. And she started doing it as like a prayer over them, like kind of like
Wow.
under the table of like, I'm praying for God, for you to encounter the presence and the Spirit of God. And so that's pretty cool. So we started doing it actually at the Belonging at church, and first time we did it, it just erupted in the room. Partly because we love Daniela and we love what's on her life, but also because there's just something, felt like there was just something strong on this song. So, but it didn't have a bridge yet. So we kept thinking, man, we'd love to do this song, but it feels like for church, it needs to have like a bridge, just somewhere else to go, in it, more of a response to what God's doing. So Cody, that's kind of like what kind of next part of the story.
Yeah, so I was leading at church a couple of months after that, and I don't remember what song I was leading, but I just went out of that song into something spontaneous, and I just kind of wrote this little section in the moment, and I went into it, and I remember it just moved the room a little bit, and I was like, oh, that was cool, and I got off stage after church that night, and I felt like God said, hey, that's the bridge to cover the earth. And I just kind of had this moment of like, whoa, you just like putting the two together in my head and the chorus and the bridge, and I thought that might be amazing. And I remember going home that night and like playing the chorus of Cover the Earth into this new section I had just written, and it felt like just a great puzzle piece, to just fit in that section thematically, melodically, and it was even a similar progression as the chorus, and it was cool. So, and then to find out, so then, we called Daniela and we're like, hey, what if we did this song? What if we made a church version of this song? And I've got this bridge, it's a crazy thing to tell somebody that's like written this song.
Right.
She came over, her and her husband came over that night to our house, and we played it, and she's like, I love this, And it just ended up being a really cool story because she said, what's funny about you writing the bridge that way is I wrote the chorus that way. About 4 or 5 years ago, I was in church, I was leading a song, and I spontaneously went into this chorus. And so it was cool that we kind of like co-wrote the song together, but not in the same room. We just co-wrote it together like a few years apart, both out of just these moments of pouring out our heart to God in church, and created this song, you know, so it's special.
Yeah.
It is special.
And to hear you talk about it, Kari, and telling that story, it makes a ton of sense, because when I first heard this song, I was like, and this song is very much like, it's a prophetic message of speaking over.
Yes.
I was thinking even just like to the world at large, but even coming down to the personal and to the human, it's like over the people that are sitting out there that don't know God.
Right.
So that makes so much sense of hearing the backstory behind it, of how that lyric.
Yeah, and so far, even doing it live before it's even released, we've just seen God just move, and it just like shift the room, and people just are like, yes, this is a heart cry for me. We've done it in Europe already, and it felt like just such a prophetic thing. So we're excited about this song.
It's amazing. Well, Cody, walk us through what you're playing. You're capoed 4?
Yep, capo 4. The song's in E, so I'm capo 4 and I'm playing in C. So I'll walk through the chords in that key. So the song is really based around one progression, and it's a walk up and a walk down. So you start on the 6 minor, the A minor here, and you walk up with the G over B and then to the C. And then you go back down, G over B, A minor, and then keep walking down, G, F. That's the main meat of the song in the verse and the chorus. It's pretty much the same thing. And then when you get to the bridge, it's a bit simpler. It just goes to the 6, the A minor, to the F, 4 chord, to the C, the 1 chord, to the G, the 5, and it just repeats that in the bridge. And then when you get back to the chorus, you're back in that walk up, walk down, and then walk down again.
Awesome. Well, McKendry, show us what you're playing in the intro. You're doing some nice work on the keyboard. We don't get a chance to show keyboard work a lot on the cafe videos, so this is such a great part. Why don't you show us what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm actually, it's the same progression as the chorus, which is, it starts at a 6 minor, and it walks up, and then it walks down. The hook starts on the 1, and then it just kind of does this. There's the F sharp to the G sharp, and then it does it again. Same thing, F sharp, G sharp, C sharp. That's basically it, so. Last time.
Guys, thanks so much for coming by and sharing the song with us. I can't wait for people to hear this and see it go out in all the churches.
Us too.
Thank you.
So let the spirit rise up and break through the walls and beat down the doors and crash through the windows and